I'm gonna do a little hop.
So pretty.
Yep.
You hopped?
Yep.
Hey everyone, welcome to Garden Obsessions.
Yep. To the new house, the new playground, the new garden. I don't know what to call it.
I love that, the playground, the new playground. For sure, the new playground. We can't wait to go ahead and show it to you guys. I know we took a break.
Oh yeah.
A very well needed break. I still think we need more break.
Probably. I think this is the first day we've like slept in. I don't know if you consider, sleeping in a lot.
We slept in. We slept in. We needed to sleep in.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful today. So we are living in San Antonio, Texas.
Yep.
If I'm correct, I'm going to go for it and say we are in zone 8B.
Yep. So the area around here fluctuates from an 8B to a 9A. We're like in an 8B. When we got here 2 weeks ago, it was 90 something. It was close to the hundreds. It hit 100 a couple days that we were here. But today is beautiful. It's 77 degrees.
Beautiful today. I was getting dressed upstairs and Ambrose said that he opened the sliding door, and you were like...
It was 66 degrees when I opened the door this morning. It was beautiful. It felt great.
And it feels so good right now.
77 right now, and we normally don't shoot at this time of the day, but we have this perfect shade from the house, and there's plenty of sun. It's a great combination, great mixture for this backyard area, so we can shoot at pretty much any time of day, I think, at this house so far.
This is the east part of the home, and we made sure that when we were looking for a home, it was very important to look at the areas of the house where the light was going to hit. This one has east facing the back of our home, so I'm loving it, and we'll talk more about it as we do our little walk. We did take some videoing when we got here. We were really tired when we arrived. We opened up the U-Haul. To tell you the truth, we didn't even look at the U-Haul that evening.
No, we didn't even bother with it till the next day.
We were so tired. We were beat. I think the next morning is when we opened up the U-Haul.
Yeah.
And we were scared to open because it was hot coming from from Virginia.
Yeah.
It was we did 2 days.
Yeah, 2.5 days pretty much. 2 days because we left Friday afternoon, Saturday, so we got here Sunday afternoon. So yeah, it was 2 days total.
So I think right now, if we do have footage, we do have footage, but if we can find it, because we haven't even looked at it, we'll insert it right here.
It's very little footage, but it's to show you guys that everything made it just fine. Everything looked happy, looked great. The humidity inside the U-Haul was absolutely great. I think I have a small portion of the video where the pots were actually sweating and the plants absolutely loved it in there.
How could I forget that? There was water coming down from the vehicle, the back of the truck of the U-Haul as Ambrose opened it up, and the plants were nice and moist and wet. It was like a greenhouse thing going on in there.
It had a great greenhouse effect because everybody loved it. They all looked great.
Some plants had, funny thing, we've done this before, so we've seen it happen, so it wasn't a surprise for us. Some plants actually started putting on more foliage.
And we'll talk about that as we do the little tour here, because there's one in particular that I'm like,
oh yeah,
what are you doing? For one, and I know we haven't really started the tour yet, but I have my figs that are doing great.
Yeah, and they're loving it. Now, as we go around, we'll show you the things that did feel it.
Yeah.
As you get them off, and they start to feel the temperatures of a warmer zone. It was very, very hot, so some of them did start to fry. Even we put them in places that they weren't going to get a lot of sun, so they can acclimate. And we started to move some things forward. You'll see some plants in the middle of nowhere. Like, why are they there? We're acclimating them. We're trying to see what they're going to do here. The sun is not that bad right now anymore because the time that we arrived here in San Antonio. And we're just trying to do, the feel of things right now.
Oh, yeah.
I say let's just get going so we can show you.
We're going to get started. As you can see, this is the backyard. I'm going to pick up the camera. Angie's going to do most of the tour. You'll hear me talking behind the camera. But, I think enough said. We'll get started with the tour.
Okay, so let's start with the figs that Ambrose was talking about right now. These guys are not planted. They're new. They're pretty young ones still. So, they're not planted in pots yet.
So the tallest one there was actually a cutting that I got, 4 or 5 years ago. It hasn't really quite grown the way I wanted it to because, Virginia is cool and these figs like the heat. And as you can tell, all that leaf right there that Angie's touching is leaf that just happened.
Yeah.
Here, which is crazy.
Yeah, we didn't have that much sun over in Virginia, so now these plants are doing amazing. These are 2 that we bought right when we, as we were leaving Virginia.
So all this right here that Angie's showing you, that's all new growth right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely looks beautiful. I think one's a brown turkey fig, and the other's a LSU purple, which is that one down there. Beautiful figs. Can't wait to put them out in the full sun because they're doing absolutely great.
Funny thing is, we're in a place where it's great to grow like cactus and succulents. And I have some succulents that we brought from Virginia. And the funny thing is that these were growing really, really well, more of in the north side of the area where they had more sun. And as soon as they came here, this area is still, somewhat shady. They felt it. They have a little crunch on them. And I think it's because, of the travel. So no matter what type of plant, they're going to feel the change. And then the ones that I thought we were not going to bring at all, I was going to leave them behind. And then
I was not going to let that happen.
Ambrose and the girls, actually, our daughters, they were like, you're going to do what? You're leaving them behind? So these are arborvitae, but they are called Tom Thumbs.
Tom Thumbs, yep.
And these are actually the first ever evergreens we ever bought for ourselves. Like, I think we were in North Carolina when we got these guys.
Yes.
And it's when I fell in love with arborvitae so much. But they're a little bit burned right now, crunchy, because I had to if we were going to bring them, I had to go ahead and give them a cut. It's not the time to cut them back. You cut them back in the beginning of spring when new growth is starting to emerge. This is not the time. It needed to be done because they were huge. I had let them get bigger. They don't lose their shape. Tom Thumb arborvitae grows round. But the reason we had let them get crazy is because we had snow. We had snow in Virginia, and they had split in the middle where we had placed them. And they had looked really bad, but they bounced back perfectly. But we've done this before. This will go away soon. They'll be fine. The ivy, as y'all can see, the ivy's doing great. That ivy's been in there since forever. I don't even remember how long ago I planted that. It got a cutting too.
It's been since North Carolina.
It had a cutting too. These are some of the little cacti that I was able to bring that I had inside the house. The reason I can't let go of them is for just sentimental reasons. The kids gather them, they buy them. They actually named one. Who is this right here?
They named them after characters in the House show because they love House. I think, I have no idea, Kuttner and Taub, if anybody knows.
Or Taub. And then for some reason they want to call this one House.
Yeah.
Okay, so then right here we have, oh my goodness, I forget the name of this one.
Blue Point Cypress.
Yes, which is one of my favorite ones because it's blue, and the blue foliage. So, first off, let me show you what I have down here. I didn't plant anything underneath this year, but if you guys remember the side of the house, whoever's been following us, we had some of the peachberry eyes hookeras from Proving Winners on the side of the house growing. Ambrose had pulled those out, and I needed to find a place to plant them in so we can bring them. I squeezed some in some of the urns that I had in front of the house. But around the time we did it, it was super hot. We were in the 90s in Virginia, so the plants got shocked.
They suffered.
They suffered, and that's what's happening right here. It's still alive. It's still doing something, but of course, it got crunched. It got shocked. But anyways, I did bring some plants that are not for this climate. This one right here, it says, if I'm correct, zone 7, like a 7B, I think it's up to. But I said, let's chance it and let's bring it. It's doing great here. It's been doing amazing. I don't see anything bad with it.
Yeah.
I do have another one, and I'll show you because it did start to show some scorch. But this is a little area right here, the little patio area. Before I forget, these are the little geraniums I had growing indoors. I only brought 2 with me. I had to leave other geraniums. I love to grow them inside. It just rained too much in Virginia, and the area we had didn't have a lot of space, so I had geraniums inside the house, and I just love to see the flowers a lot. But I left these outside because they've even been showing color on the leaves out here. So this is a little patio area. We have a lot of work to do in this area still, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun bringing it to life. It's actually becoming one of my favorite spots. When we did pick out the home, I fell in love with this area back here. And later we'll go ahead and show you the whole area right here so you can see why. And maybe y'all have some ideas to, send our way. Okay, so got to be careful because I did see that there's some holes around here. Ambrose was telling me because the house doesn't have gutters.
Yeah, there's no gutters on this house.
Weird.
It doesn't rain as much as Virginia, so I'm assuming that's why
why
there's no gutters. But a lot of that rain falls and it creates divots in the ground there. So there's holes around the edges there.
So the people that were living here actually already had a path going on here. I see some rock here, which that's something that I was really thinking about before we even arrived here with the pictures I had seen of creating paths along both sides of the house with pockets of gardens.
Yep.
We'll see. So when we first arrived here, I did bring all the arborvitaes that we have, North Pole arborvitaes. I did bring them here. And first thing I did was place them right here without thinking, though, even though it's an east side area, the heat of the house, how it was going to bounce. I'll show you what happened to them. These right here are the tater tots from Proven Winners. These are the 2 containers. I'll show you pictures of those. The 2 containers that we had in the front of the garden of the door, right? Of our who was it?
At the bottom of the steps. Yep.
The steps, and my daughter helped me. Not long ago, we were able to come out here finally and do a little bit of garden work. We went ahead and pruned all the little plants that we have in there. Petunias. I forget this one.
Oh, Diamond Frost.
Diamond Frost, Euphorbia. Of course, y'all know that Coleus is going to love the heat here. I have other little plants in there that we cut back all the way. This one right here is High Noon from Proven Winners. So we went ahead and cut everything back because they did not do well inside the moving truck. They did feel it. They did feel the heat in the vehicle. Okay, so now this is the other one that I have on this side, and I just moved it here right now to show you, but I had to move it further over here because I noticed it was getting scorched from here. And the only reason is because of this wall too. So I had to move them over here. So that side, what happens is the sun, as it's coming, as the sun is hitting the home, it's slowly moving back.
Yep.
And that one the shade starts to go start there first on that corner over there. So that's why that one is not burned. So things that I'm learning from this house. Where do you want to go to right now?
It's up to you.
We can
go
here
to the side. So here's one side of the house here.
So this right here, I went ahead and I think I did a short for you guys on YouTube. Was it? And Instagram. Yep. And I think, we had, a lot of people tell us right away, secret garden. And I was like, yes, that's what I'm thinking, but I don't know. I just know that all the shade plants are here. And we brought along with us a lot of the hydrangeas that you see right here. I have more ivy that I'm a sucker for ivy, English ivy. I had to bring it with me. We have a lot of the panicle hydrangeas down here, which I know they'll take more sun out there. And then you have here, excuse me, the way it's leaning over. Here's where I had to bring the rest of the North Pole arborvitae with us. I actually thought of leaving them behind because I know it's really hot in San Antonio. The sun is brutal here. The heat alone, not just the sun, the heat alone can scorch plants at that, especially if they're not well watered.
Yep.
But yeah, so you can see how they started to.
It's a little bit of scorch on top.
Scorch from there.
And these were up against the house too.
That's why. That's why they were burning because I placed them on that wall, and it scorched them. So I'm not gonna put them there. They're not gonna be able to handle that heat on that wall. But other than that, they're fine. This is the second day we haven't watered.
Yeah.
We had rain a few days ago.
Yep.
So everything's nice and moist, especially in this area. This is the north side of the home, which I think it's perfect because I'm envisioning hydrangea, all that beautiful, all those beautiful shade plants.
As you can see on camera right here, it's plenty of shade, beautiful shade for what Angie has in mind. I do want to mention real quick, so I showed the ground a little bit. You see all this grass is growing? A lot of it's not grass, a lot of it's weed, a lot of it's different kind of things. And we haven't done anything yet. Like I said, we're not going to cut the grass, and we'll show you the rest of the yard. But I'm letting it grow because I want to see what's actually growing here, what I need to treat, and what I need to do as far as letting everything grow here.
So let's show you some of the plants that I bring. So of course that I brought, we went ahead and brought the panicle hydrangeas right here. Most of them they all got brutally chopped down. Because of the move, so they can fit. This right here is Firelight, huge. That one was huge, living in the ground in Virginia Garden. It was really big, but here you see they're the new growth.
They're coming back. I mean, they shouldn't be coming back, but they're...
Then you have here Invisible Limetta. And it's starting to do... It had no leaves, guys.
Yeah.
And here we go. They're actually putting on flower.
So we never cut these back at the last house because it was kind of crowded where they were at. But knowing what we know now, you can cut these limettas back and you can get 2 flushes out of them per season. And so that's what you're seeing there is the second flush coming up after they got pruned really hard.
And then of course you're gonna see our
beautiful hostas.
The hostas. This is wee hosta, one of the smallest.
Yep.
A small size hosta from Proven Winners. A vinca vine.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, a variegated vinca vine. I love to have a lot of little plants that bring greenery into the garden because I love flowers, and greenery is very important when you have flowers. And I could not say bye to the vinca, the variegated vinca at that. So you're always gonna see in our garden English ivy and vinca, and I know they can be crazy plants that take over, but I'm good at maintaining those.
Yep.
Okay, and then we had
some Brunera.
I say Brunera, you say
Brunera.
Brunera.
Whatever.
But that one's crunchy. That one for sure felted. Oh my goodness, guys! So I did this right here is
lemony lace.
Lemony lace, and I did pass one to somebody else over there, which was so excited to receive it. They had no idea what it was, but it caught their attention. And it was already sprouting. I had cut it all the way back before we moved, and it was already sprouting. But when we arrived here, it cooked immediately as it came out of the U-Haul.
Yeah.
And now look, there
Beautiful.
it is. It's coming back. We have other plants here. Like this is I don't want to make it too long either. I don't want to. But that's a what?
It's a hops.
The hops. It's discontinued from Proven Winners, but we still, I love growing that one. And then you're going to see a lot of the hostas. This hosta right here was huge. That's Ooh La La.
Yeah.
And I had to cut it all the way back because of the size that it was. We wanted to fit plants in the, in the U-Haul. We were going to have to do things like that. But it's just funny how it opened up new leaves as we got here, and then it's doing great, this one. And this one did feel it as we got it off, right?
Yep.
It crunched immediately. Then we have some other ones from Proven Winners that I still gotta plant that I haven't planted that they send us. So I'm gonna have fun planting these guys.
Yep.
So we have a whole lot of plants that are, for shade. Heuchera too.
Yep.
Some heucheras that I have here are for complete shade, like this one.
Yeah.
And these other ones can take full sun.
Okay, so there was a question about how we were taking some of our plants, right?
Yes.
And whether they're going to survive or not. And there's a perfect example over there that I think you should show.
Okay, so this right here is the coleus. And I have it in a plastic bag. This coleus was planted in the front of that was the last bed that we pulled out the front of the house. And I have it in a bag. The girls actually helped me make some holes in it. No, not this one. I'll show you the other one that have holes. That one we just left it like that, filled up with some water, a bit of soil, and there it is. It's because coleus is a very easy plant. You can grow it in water as well indoors,
Yep.
to make more cuttings. But I did not leave it behind. I wanted to see what it was going to do. It actually came out looking very, very pretty out of the U-Haul. What else were we talking about? This right here. You want to talk to them about this guy?
Yeah, so this is my Kusa dogwood. This is Wolf Eyes, and absolutely love this dogwood. Look at the variegation here and the red berry that it gives when it blooms with the flower. Absolutely beautiful, but I lost a lot of it because it went in the truck. And
it felt it.
Kind of got crunch, and it did feel it, and a lot of the leaves just fell off immediately. But check this out. This is all new growth. Beautiful new growth, and it's got all these little buds everywhere of foliage, not flowers. Obviously, it's too late for it to do any flowers, but a lot of foliage starting to bud up. Now this one is good through zone 5 through 9, so it should absolutely do well here. In this zone here, though, it shouldn't leave too much of its foliage during the fall or winter. It might drop some, but it'll flush right back up in spring here.
Yeah, another plant that I'm going to have to really learn about more is growing heuchera, because heuchera, when we are born and raised in San Antonio, but I never ever saw heuchera at all in our gardens, in my parents' garden. So this is a plant that I learned about when we left San Antonio, when we left Texas. I started, that's later on in life I started to grow that one. So now I'm back home, and I want to see how to grow this one. I know a lot of the Pervin Winners varieties of heuchera are more sun tolerant, but just because they say it's a lot more sun tolerant doesn't mean that I'm going to go stick it in full sun southern part of the garden, right? So I have to be careful. I might be able to play around, though, around this time of year, around fall and around winter, maybe, if it keeps its foliage here, I might be able to play around with it in the front, though, in the southern part.
Heuchera is not something you normally see around these parts of Texas.
It's changed a lot, so I don't know. We don't know of the gardening now, how it's changed here.
Last thing I want to show you guys is
Excuse the trash and the mess.
Yeah, so that trash was here when we got here, but there's things we need to take care of. But these are all the pots that were in the garage. Fortunately, we have a yard now to come place some stuff out. Now, it's not going to stay like this. We'll organize it a little bit better, but this is what it's been like since we got here, and we're just more focused on the inside than the out. But I want to show you guys my Japanese maple because it's doing great right now. Look at this new growth right here. We didn't have this in Virginia. It was actually looking like this in Virginia for some reason, and I'm not sure why. I think we had it in a spot where it was just getting too much sun on top. I'm
not sure. It was north area, so I don't know what was going on there.
Just some research. I need to do a little bit more on this Japanese maple. I did prune one branch there that was kind of tall. For
the 4 years we were there, it did amazing the whole time. Then towards the end, it just started to, what Ambrose said, start to do this all of a sudden. It does need repotting.
Yeah, we do need to repot it. It's in a smaller container.
Yeah.
We don't need to go back there. We got some stuff back there, but it does need to be repotted. Needs some more fertilizer, just refreshed.
Yeah, and then we have some more of the other plants that are ferns. I'm not sure if you want to show them. The ferns and the black elderberry.
Yep.
So on this side, I have more of the elderberry. This is a black lace elderberry. Like I told you, some of the plants did feel it as soon as they got brought out.
Yep.
Not a lot of sun's hitting here, but they still felt the heat of that week was in the 90s, late, high 90s. So
yeah, it was pretty hot.
Some of them did feel it, like this hosta, and then some of them are loving it. Like, look at this, Ambrose, one of Ambrose's favorite ferns, is doing amazing. So yeah. Let's not spend too much time on this side. I do love it a lot. I'm going to be spending a lot of time here. We'll figure it out, have fun with it pretty soon. But I say let's go to the front and then we continue the back or something.
Yeah, we can do that.
It's nice right now in the front. I don't think it's very cloudy right now. So let's go see what's going on up there. So this is the front of the house, and the front of it has brick, which I love the color too. And I'm already thinking roses. This is the southern part of the yard of the home, and I already have a vision for it. Hopefully we can do that here. But there's not much right now, There's already a little boxwood there. Not sure we're gonna leave it. the existing plants that are, when we arrived. There's these huge bushes that are here. And I know Ambrose remembered the name.
Yeah, I'll put the name on there.
Of this plant, but I can't believe I'm forgetting it because I used to grow this one in North Carolina, and I actually had them in pots. So I can't remember. If you guys remember this right here, please let us know. It does have sort of like a variegated leaf, but this is what has been growing here, and no water.
Yep.
So that is pretty cool. It's a little crunchy, but Ambrose is going to go ahead and do run irrigation later. Yeah. There is something we're super excited about because it's a plant that I love so much from here in the South.
So
this right here?
It's a Texas native laurel.
Yes. Look at that. I miss this plant so much. It has been years since I've seen one.
And here's the seed pods, which look pretty cool. I don't know if anybody knows what a tamarind tree is, but this is similar to the seed pods from tamarind where you get the actual pulp from. But those are the seed pods. I'll put some pictures up there.
Not edible, like tamarindo.
Here's where the blooms were at. Beautiful blooms. It kind of remind me of, what did I say, wisteria, right?
Yes, with wisteria, so very pretty purple. But this is not edible at all.
No.
You told me that
actually,
they're
poisonous.
They're poisonous, so yeah, no eating that.
In large amounts, obviously.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm happy for this. So that's what came, with the house, the front. We don't know yet what we're going to do. Ambrose is going to take care of the grass.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, guys, the grass, it is Texas. It's pretty hot, and nobody's been living here. So if you don't water, this is what you end up getting. I've driven around, and there's beautiful yards in other places. And I remember from living here back in the day, as long as you water, you have a great yard. And that's something that you can follow along with us doing, because obviously we're going to definitely take care of the yard and have some grass growing here.
When we got here, this one just happened to be placed here because we were just trying to hurry up and get things off of the vehicle. So this one is right here. I think it's what did you say?
That's
it was?
Litchfield Angel.
Litchfield Angel, yeah. So of course they all got a very, very hard prune before we left, so they could fit in the vehicle. But it's coming back.
Oh,
after
and this one was one of the last
2
ones to
weeks?
get pruned. Yeah, so
2 weeks, right?
Yep. So we'll show you the ones that actually got pruned days before, because they're loving it.
Look at that. After 2 weeks.
Litchfield Angel is one of our most floriferous roses.
Yeah. And I haven't had to water. So that's amazing.
Let's talk about that real quick. Why we haven't had to water. I came out the other morning. It was raining, and like I said, there's no gutters here.
Oh yes.
There's some of the soil from that rose there.
I had it down here.
So we moved it.
I had it down here.
Yeah.
And I moved it because it was going to rain.
Yep.
So it could get water. But
it overfilled quite a bit.
It got too much water. So this is going to be what I'm going to play with in the front.
Yep.
But I honestly don't feel that I'm going to have to do too much in the front. I would love to play with this right here, but I'm actually loving the color of this plant against this brick wall.
Yeah.
And then I'm picturing in spring the purple of the laurel. So to me, it's, I don't know.
We may do some fillers,
maybe just
obviously shape it out.
Shape things, and then I don't know, guys, roses. I don't know. We'll see, but I don't think it needs too much in the front.
Maybe
I think we're gonna have a lot of fun in the back.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and show you the rest because the other roses are back there.
Oh yeah. All right, so we're following Angie all the way back to the rest of the plants that we have here. But before we start, we're gonna start towards the back. I want to show you the rest of the yard. Look at this. This is what it opens up to. I've got the grills over there, and we'll figure a spot for that later, but this is what it opens up to, and you can imagine, and we can show you some top-down footage of both areas, the back and the sides. Lots to play with, lots to imagine with, lots to design. Are you excited for that?
Oh, I'm ready.
But this is what we have right here, and I hope you guys are just as excited as we are, because this is something that we're gonna love playing with. And obviously, like I said, another journey, which I'm gonna absolutely enjoy, is maybe doing some reseeding, taking care of the lawn, fertilizing, making it look bright and beautiful. And that's another journey that we're gonna, start here. So it's gonna be fun.
Let's go ahead and start here. Random plants, like I said, random spots, where I place them. But reason being is because I'm, slowly, when we arrived here, a lot of the plants were placed away from the sun where the most shade was at.
Yep.
And then slowly I started to, bring them out so they can get acclimated. And I wanted to see, were they going to take the sun okay? And of course, I should have left some of the blooms on these limelight tree hydrangeas, and I didn't, because first I didn't want the flowers just to be wasted. I actually gave them away to one of the neighbors across the street. She was so happy to receive them. But I did leave one, and it's been here since we arrived, sitting here. This one I did put here since we arrived.
Yep.
And the hydrangea flower is doing amazing. Now, they have been getting watered daily, like really well. And then, what was it, the first days that we got here, because it was very, very hot.
Yep.
As I started noticing the temperatures go down a little bit more,
Yep.
I stopped watering every day. I wanted to see what is it going to do. And it's doing great still. So I didn't water today. It's been, what, two days maybe since I haven't watered the hydrangeas?
Yep.
So they're doing great. And then, of course, this one's going to take a lot of the heat. Oat leaf hydrangea is perfect for southern gardens.
It's loving it so far.
It loves the heat. One thing I do want to see while we are here, it was already changing its leaf color. This one, I think it's this one is,
This one is Gatsby Moon.
Gatsby Moon.
Yeah.
So this one has a bigger, fuller flower of hydrangea. But what I do want to know is if it's going to change its leaf colors here in the hotter zone.
Yeah, because of the cooler weather.
Next year.
And so I don't want you guys to think that this is because of the heat here. None of this is because of the heat. This was already happening in Virginia.
They changed the color. Of course, they got crisp because they did feel a little bit the heat in the vehicle too, in the truck.
Yep.
But that beautiful color that you see, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, those are the fall colors. That's all your interest that we were talking about.
So is it going to do that here? So if anybody grows an oak leaf hydrangea, and like this one, and it changes color on you here in the southern part of San Antonio, let me know. Let us go ahead and know.
The one thing that does excite us is that this is what's happening here in this heat, and this one's sitting out in the full sun. Look at that. It's just beautiful looking growth. It's not crisping, it's not burning, it's not changing or discoloration. So very excited to see these here.
There's the other one. This one's got to be pink, which has a smaller flower. It's doing amazing. This one, I do have it a little bit more protected from the
Don't mind the trash bags over there. That's yard cleanup.
We've been cleaning. I'm going to show you something that is awful. Awful, I know.
I wouldn't consider it awful considering what's happening with them. Okay.
I feel awful because, I'm thinking maybe I should have put them in pots or something. But it was last minute thing. That was the last thing that we brought down in the garden. So this right here that we have in bags are the salvia. And this is your favorite salvia.
This is Rockin' Plain the Blue Salvia. And Angie says it's awful because she had to cut them. But I don't consider this awful considering that this is what's happening
awful for them to be in a plastic bag. It was our last thing to do, and I did not have time to pot them up. So what I went ahead and did, my girls helped me bag them up, and they did put some holes under in the bags on the bottom, and we just soaked them well with water. And then this one right here is a lantana.
Which is going to do great in Texas.
Lantana is a perennial here.
They love the heat.
So I didn't want to leave this one behind because it has variegated leaves and it's a very beautiful yellow. So hopefully I have time to plant them.
And let's discuss real quick. The reason they're in bags still is because we love gardening, and gardening is a beautiful thing to be doing. But, obviously priorities are the home and family. And we just haven't gone out to get some soil. And my understanding is wherever we're going to get some espoma soil, it's not a drive from here. It's almost similar to what I was doing before, but we just haven't been able to get out and explore the town. I've had other things going on. So we'll soon get those in pots and containers.
We'll get to that. We needed to take care of things inside the house and everything else that we have going on life. Yep. But, slowly we're making our way out here. And if we lose plants, I mean, it would be very awful. But at the same time, we can't be that hard on ourselves. It's, it's life right now. So this right here, there was no way in the world that we were going to leave it behind. So this is a forsythia from Proving Winters that is discontinued.
This one is called Flying Machine Forsythia.
It's a really nice, good size one with huge, huge golden yellow, almost orange blooms. Yeah. And I love it so much. Yeah. I do want to add some of the new varieties because they're gorgeous, of course, but...
So I just saw this right now. I'm going to freak Angie out. It's doing what it's not supposed to be doing.
Goodness. It was probably because, well, the change of weather and also in
the whole. It's only 2 days, which freaks me out. Is
wow.
a 2 day, you know, greenhouse effect, and this is what happens. I mean, you start to see stuff like this. Now we love this forsythia, and because it's discontinued, I don't want anybody to think that it's a bad plant. A lot of times plants do get discontinued because they just don't sell, and it's not because the plant's a bad plant.
We don't know the reason why, though.
You know, we don't know the reason, but it's a great plant. Love
but they do have a lot more.
Oh yeah.
I'm like just dying to go ahead and add. Because they're beautiful, of course.
More containers, you know, because we just have lots of
let's go ahead and do this first, because this is where I know all you rose lovers want to know what's going on with them. But first, this down here, also in bags, last thing. Of course, they have little holes in the bottom, so don't worry, guys. They're draining well. These are the daylilies.
Yes.
So we have Sound of My Heart.
There's, Sound of My Heart.
Sound of My Heart right here.
There's a...
This is Tiger Swirl.
Tiger Swirl.
That's
and
Tiger Swirl.
We have a Primal Scream back there. And they're all doing great. I mean, again, unfortunately, some are in bags.
Then these right here are some of the anemones. Japanese anemones.
With some strawberries. They're drying up.
Yeah, they're still alive.
And I see a salvia in there, too, that we stuck.
The girls just squeezed everything they could. They didn't want to leave anything behind. I was like, just pass them on. And they were like, no, we want to take them.
I just love that our kids are that much into gardening.
That's the reason why you're going to see some things like that, because it's more of their experiment. They wanted to see what would happen if they brought them like that.
They are just as excited as we are for bringing these things. But now let's get to the cream of the crop, because, man... So you've seen our roses grow in Virginia, and we appreciate all the comments, and everybody loves the roses, but look at the growth that these guys have put on.
It's been a while since we've seen our roses look this good.
In the heat of all things. Look at this.
They love the heat. Roses love, they can stand.
Were pruned severely before we moved. That's Gertrude right there, and I pruned her back hard. You guys saw it. And look at this.
Yeah, that's Gertrude. That's another Gertrude.
Another Gertrude
Of course, we're going to have to clean up some of them.
Yeah, yep. We got to do some cleanup.
Excuse the fence. We have some work to do. A lot of work to do, but that's for later.
I was talking about all the containers that we have. I think we might need a shed. I don't know.
I don't know about a shed.
Just a thought.
Maybe. Who's this right here?
This one right here, I want to say is Rodell.
Oh, no, that's Lady of Shalott.
Oh, Lady of Shalott. They, you know.
So some of the plants, I know somebody had asked if we like put tags with names. Smart thing to do. We didn't. I know on video sometimes we forget the names, but we're really good on. We know who every single one is.
Yeah.
We just know. Even our kids know who is who. So that's why we didn't put any tags. But a lot of them still have tags from when we bought them.
Some more plants here, which Rosa Sharons that were. Hold on, They were
huge.
This tall, and they had to get pruned down to right there.
Yeah.
Let me move back so you can see the height difference. But they were pretty tall, but they're doing absolutely fine. Look at this.
Yeah.
Dare I say that the greener is greener right now?
Yeah, it is.
We'll see if we get that sugar, what they call sugar tip. It looks almost like sugar coating on the leaves and stuff like that.
And Rosa Sharons love warm weather, so perfect for here. That's why I don't want to leave them. Then we got more roses. Of course, my Pervin Winters roses. I was not going to leave them behind. From Pervin Winters Color Choice. We have crema back there.
Yep.
Looking pretty bad right now, tattered. I'm going to clean it up as soon as I get a chance. Yep. We have, like I said, keep repeating, we haven't had time to come out here.
Yep.
We have I don't know who this is right here.
That's a Harlow in there.
Harlow.
Yep.
How can I forget you?
Like I said, one of us knows the names.
So these are the 3 Harlow right here, guys.
Yes, this is Harlow.
1, 2, 3?
Nope.
No. 1,
2, and 3 over here. Yep.
And this right here is Claire.
That's Claire Austin. And
Austin.
Right next to it is Pertigates, which has a single, branch there.
All this is new.
That's all new growth. But
when we got it out, it was just the main.
Hopefully she puts on more growth. That's Weasley
right there. That's Weasley right there. They all need a nice trim. That is Rodell right there.
Rodell's putting on more growth as well.
Yep.
It needs that one was one that we didn't really prune at all. As you can see, all the dead blooms there. We left it alone because it wasn't ready to take up too much space. This is one that I'm excited about, though. My brother Cadfael. I say my. I say my.
And why do we have this on here?
Well,
Back there, over there,
there
it
was no room, so I held these together because Brother Catfill is very long and lanky when it doesn't get plenty of sun. And as you can see
had
here,
him for a long time.
It's doing great. It's putting on lots of growth, and I'm excited to see Brother Catfill bloom.
Look at all that new growth. Look at this. Starting to make some buds right here.
Yeah, Harlocar's going to give us a bloom. I believe these roses are going to give us a
Well, Harlocar loves the heat.
bloom. Here's another Gertrude right there.
So as we're showing you this, guys, you hear us so surprised is because we haven't really been able to come out here and really look at it. Like I said, we took a break of watering for 2 days.
Yeah, we did.
But I am going to tell you something. I have not been watering the roses daily here at all. Yeah. Which is crazy. I remember coming the first week we got here, I was literally leaving 2 days go by and I was checking them in pots, and I told Ambrose something crazy. They're still wet. Yep. The soil's still wet. And I was in surprise because it's really hot. And back in North Carolina, I had to have been watering them. I don't know if it was more windy or something.
More than likely.
It's just weird.
Here we have my viburnum.
This viburnum could not stay.
And it's putting on some growth.
Yeah, we could not leave it behind.
This is just amazing how much growth and how much all these plants are loving the weather here.
This comes from a cutting. I think they were selling it at Pender Pines in North Carolina, the nursery.
Yeah, they had a huge viburnum there. I wish I had photos. I got to go through the.
And we do. And I think what happened, they got cuttings from their huge one they have, and they sell them. Yep. I think that's what they do. And we just needed. Amber's had to have one, and I love it so much. So I did sneak in some plants in big containers. I brought in the geraniums. This is Roseanne geranium, and it's loving it. I had to make sure to put it. It loves the sun. So it's doing wonderful here. And then this one I had put it in more shade. Chocolata. It's a new one for Permanent Winners. One not that new. Maybe 2-3 years ago.
2-3 years, yeah.
But I had it more towards shade, and it didn't look great. So it's still alive. It's showing more. And then more of the roses.
More of the roses, guys. And they're all doing, especially that double red from Permanent Winners right there. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. Yes, look at this.
All new growth in full sun. And when I say all new growth, this is pretty much all new growth because we pruned it back with no leaves and nothing.
This is full sun all day over here.
Doing great. Queen Elizabeth.
Beautiful.
Queen Elizabeth is doing great also. Look at that.
Some of the new roses also from Permanent Winners Color Choice.
So we have all this doing great. These are the rest of the roses.
This right here.
That is Teasing Georgia.
Teasing Georgia, which loves the heat.
Yep. So very, very exciting.
I'm trying to just remember the names, guys. Olivia.
Yep.
Olivia Austin, right?
Yep.
Rose. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember my best. Oh, this is Darcy Bustle.
Oh, Darcy Bustle,
She was not doing great.
Nope.
Back in Virginia, but because of the area we had, it was very shady.
Yeah, a lot of these roses want the sun. They love the sun.
So they got all the sun they can get here.
Here's a view of the house from the back corner.
Let me get out of the way.
I'm going to stand all the way in the back corner. Well, I can't because the tree's in the way, but this is the back corner view. And what are these right here? What are these big tall things?
These are like my favorite tree, and I call them the hydrangeas of the South. Crepe myrtles.
Yeah.
I love crepe myrtles. I grew up with my parents. My mom loved her crepe myrtle that was right in front of our home front porch. And we have 2 here, but they need some loving.
This one needs more loving than the other. And
there was no green when we got here.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and soaked the trees.
Yep.
And they've been coming back.
Yep.
So I do need to learn on how to cut crepe myrtles, how to clean them up, because I've never done that before. So that's something to learn. That one got very happy after we gave it water. Yeah,
this one's loving it a little bit more. As you can see, it's a lot greener, a lot more leaves on it. But just clean up that needs to happen around here. Excited to do all that. All right, so now where do we go from here? I know Angie likes that spot over there. The kids love the spot. So you can see I have the 2 grills there. Not sure if they're going to stay there because I love the grill, and this almost looks like a great spot, but not sure where it's going to go. That's just there for now. But I do want to show you these trees right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them coming up from the ground. And dare I say it, the kids I'm not going to say those words because I don't want to get, but dare I say it, the kids thought this was feces on the ground. Not feces. All right? It looks like it if you look at the ground. But what it actually is, this is a black persimmon tree. You can see some right here. Right around the time that we got here is when they ripened. So a lot of them ripened and just fell off, and that's why you see them all on the ground. But they're great fruit, depending on what flavor palette you have. So it would have been awesome to be able to harvest some of these, but
2 don't look so great. They look dead. It's not.
They're not dead.
It's not dead.
We're gonna see what we can do about this. Maybe run some irrigation to them, some tree tone, maybe some.
I'm just checking them. I always scratch the.
Figure out
to check, but they're not. They're seems to have some green. I just don't know how bad they are. If they're gonna have to come down those, but the kids were telling me even if they're gone, they don't want them. They don't want them to be pulled out because they actually love this little area.
Yeah.
And they would love to do something here. And which is funny thing is, when we got here, I noticed there was toys here still.
Yeah.
Of kids. Like the kids were playing around. We also found some what's the name of that vine that grows up?
Oh, morning glories.
Morning glories were being trained here.
Well, as you can see,
there's some here. Look.
Yep.
It was getting trained here, and there's some here. I think this is it.
Yep.
They had it trained here, but they pulled it out before they left, I'm guessing. It looked very kid-friendly already.
Yep.
They want to do something here. They want to put some lights up. One of my daughters asked if we could do a little garden around it. We'll see. I don't know yet.
I don't know yet. Anybody loves the way that looks, but I just love the way these look, the moss that builds up here on the trees.
That is cool.
You can see that one over there is even more green and has lots of it. The sun's right in the way, but all right, where do we move on to next?
So this is another exciting little spot right here. So when we were looking for the home, Ambrose, one of the big things that he spotted was this part. This is the southern part of the house.
Yep.
It's not a big area, but I'll let him talk more about it because I know he's super excited about this. I think he could not sleep because of dreaming about this little area.
So, because we don't want the whole backyard to be crowded with, edibles and stuff like that, and we want to have a ornamental garden as well as roses and stuff like that. This is a perfect spot, and you tell me, guys, if you think so, for an entrance to a kitchen garden. I think it is. Angie thinks it is. Everybody thinks it is. It's open enough, it's wide enough, and it gets sun perfectly here for vegetables and fruit trees and anything else that you can think of that's edible. As you can see, I already have that Parfianca pomegranate that was so small when I got it.
This was sent by Ivy Organics.
Yep. And look how big that guy is.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Just the lighting here.
Beautiful.
But looks beautiful. And then my apple tree. Now.
Oh, yeah. Last night we were out here, it was close to midnight,
it was
guys.
Midnight and we were out here. Yes, don't.
And Ambrose spotted something.
So I'm going to show you right now, but I want to show you guys when we talk about the greenhouse effect and that U-Haul and, what these plants loved and didn't love about it. All this right here is new growth after I pruned it. Now, here's the freaky part, right? This is what I was looking at. Yeah, I had no words last night. Angie had no words last night. That is a flower, guys. That is a flower to this apple tree. And so it's pretty exciting to know that this and that actually happened after we got here. So it's exciting to know that these trees are going to love the sun. But
very, very happy.
Look at this spot. Beautiful, beautiful area to grow.
It's a little bit
as a kitchen garden.
Slanted,
but a little bit of a slant, but we can work on that.
We will figure this out. Sorry, another thing that I've been geeking out about is weeds or native, I don't know what to call them.
Native flowers just happening all over the place.
When we first arrived here, all this area was filled with orange little blooms.
Almost like petunias, and I can't remember the name of it.
So if y'all know, please let me know. I know Ambrose I think he had found the name. There's some purple ones there. And I know we might have to do all that cleanup because, we want to grow grass. I don't know exactly what we're going to do here, but that made me very happy to see all those types of different, look right there, all those little flowers. I love to see that color, that purple, like periwinkle. It is so pretty. So I don't know. All this area I'm loving so much. We also have this over here that I didn't show you. One thing that I had to leave behind a lot of was my grass, my carex grass, and that was something that I really wanted to bring to grow here. Because this guy can be all year round in the south, stay this pretty. But I had to, we couldn't bring it. It was just too much I had. So I had to, I went ahead and passed it along. A lot of people actually didn't know what it was. So it was really nice to go ahead and share about such a simple little plant, why I loved it so much. Because a lot of people were like kind of leaving it behind when we were putting the plants out. And some people did ask, what is that? And I was like, I explained to them what it does, and they were, oh, wow, okay, it is worth taking, And then I did bring my, like I said, I go blank when I'm on video.
This is Bleeding Hearts.
That's a Bleeding Heart. So all this died back, if you can see, and only this stayed. So now we have new, fresh growth right there.
Yep.
And then I did not leave these behind, which I thought I had.
She thought she did until I found a way to...
I thought I left them behind, and surprised when Ambrose opened the U-Haul. So these are the...
alliums.
Alliums from Proven Winners.
Serendipity?
Deputy.
I can't remember.
These are so pretty. So went ahead and squeezed a bunch, and somehow a little salvia made it in there.
Yes. Everything makes it.
Everything made it somehow. Somehow. We were blessed enough to go ahead and bring, a good amount of plants. I know the plants might not be able to tolerate the heat when we really feel it next year again, but I just want to go ahead and give it a try, experiment and see. We talk about microclimates, and we'll get more into it. I know there's a lot of new gardeners that are following us too and want us to talk more about stuff like that. We will, in time, we'll talk about microclimates, but those are those pockets in the garden, little gardens.
It's going to be a great challenge.
That you can sometimes get away with growing things that would probably not do great, like the what are they called again?
The cypress.
The cypress. They're a 7. I probably shouldn't have brought them, but I went ahead and did it because I don't know. I just wanted to see what they were going to do, and look, they're actually way tougher right now than the arborvitae. So.
Yes.
Something fell. But you never know if you don't try. And I'm super excited right now for this area right here. I don't know what it is, but when we were researching for homes, this right here, the back, I could not sleep because I'm starting to envision something since that day when I saw this home. It's a very simple home. There ain't much going on, but I think because of that, it gives us an opportunity to create something amazing. I know a lot of you were asking, if we were excited because, if we were going to move into a huge property or, we were going to buy out somewhere. We didn't take that route this time around. Also, Ambrose, you wanted to explain to them.
When
we were looking for the home.
It's difficult to, how do I put it this way? You don't buy a car without test driving it or actually seeing the car.
And we couldn't fly over here to Texas at the moment, all the way from Virginia.
Yeah.
So we had to go ahead and find online something.
We looked at, we looked at the best that we could. We found what we could, and we chose this one thinking, and it works out. Don't get me wrong. It works out for what we wanted to do. Obviously, the goal is always going to be family. That's going to be priority. But
we don't know if this is going to be permanent. We don't know, how long we're going to be here. In the future, would we love to have a bigger place? Yes, definitely. But right now is not the time. I want our children to grow in a beautiful, nice community. This community looks very promising. It seems like a very nice, happy community. Schools are very close by. A lot of things are happening around the area. Very family friendly right now. I'm loving it, and I want them to be able to experience that.
And
we don't want to move them out to nowhere, and then they don't get to have friends. Definitely. Living next door or something.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get in the view here so you're just not staring at Angie like a frame on the wall. But you know, it is exciting. We're not opposed to you know, having a bigger garden or upgrading or anything of that nature. We would definitely love to make this 100% of the time full time YouTube, because we love doing it. But being retired now, you know, we got to weigh our options, and you guys can definitely help by liking, subscribing, and sharing our videos. Because we have nothing but time but to spend in the garden here. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun growing this garden, making it to what we want to.
Yeah.
We're just feeling out the place right now. We're, you know, is this really it for now? You know, how long do we want to stay here? Is it going to be forever?
Yeah.
We don't know yet, but we want to make sure to feel out the place first.
Yep,
and
definitely.
then, you know, we'll be keeping you updated on what our thoughts are. But of course, you know, we want to get going already and start gardening. Putting things in, see our soil. That's going to be fun to start. You know, I don't remember any of that. Growing up in the garden with my mom, I wasn't caring about soil. So we're back here now, and now we're going to really, you know, what is under us right now.
Yeah.
What do we have to do to grow plants here? What grows in this soil? Of course, we're going to be, you know, growing the plants. Try our best to grow the plants that we brought here.
Yes.
Have fun with that. But don't think that that's all we're going to do is force plants from another zone.
We're not.
From a cooler zone. We miss a lot of the plants.
We're definitely going to miss growing those plants. And guess what? If they don't make it here, they just don't make it. And we move on from
Our
that.
options are huge here of growing other things, you know?
I think one of the reasons we decided to actually move back here was because we didn't see anybody growing in the South. Especially here in Texas.
At least on social media.
Yeah.
We ourselves have been looking for
Yes.
channels from San Antonio, specifically San Antonio. We don't really see anything.
Yeah.
If there is somebody out there, please say hi.
Yeah.
Please, you guys let us know if there's somebody out there with a channel in San Antonio.
But definitely the goal is to grow a beautiful garden with heat-tolerant plants, or not necessarily pushing the limits on zones, but what plants will grow well in these zones that, you know, you can go one up, one down. Maybe they don't work, maybe they do work, but it's going to be a lot of fun to experiment with that.
And one of my biggest goals is to be able to bring that beautiful color that we had growing in Virginia.
Yes.
The color that you see up in northern gardens, you know, like Mackinac, that it inspires. Mackinac Island has always inspired me so much, the gardens up in Michigan.
Yes.
You can have all that color in the South.
Definitely.
You might not be able to use those plants, but there is, like I mentioned, crepe myrtle. Crepe myrtle to me is, so if I can't grow a panicle hydrangea in the South, then I have crepe myrtles.
Yep.
You know, if we can't grow hostas because it's just too hot, then what is a sun hosta?
There is agaves, mangaves. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we can try.
You can get that same look, but with other plants.
And they're always coming out with different types, different species, and you know,
tougher plants that can stand more.
Colorful agaves. If you haven't seen them, you know, as a matter of fact, on my trip to Walter's Garden, there's a lot of beautiful colored mangaves and agaves out there. So a lot of heat-tolerant plants that'll do well. And we're just excited to do something like that.
There's just so much to do. So you guys, Southern gardeners out there, go ahead and start giving away all those ideas. Let us know what are you growing in the South that can stand the heat, sun. You have shaded places, shaded areas in your gardens too. What do you love to put in your shaded gardens as well? Give me ideas, because back here I'm already thinking Ambrose is going nuts too with the side over there.
It's just a lot to think about. But I mean, I guess that's pretty much going to do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the whole tour of this new house. This might be a longer video, but just wanted to show you everything that's happening, all the rooms we have to work with, the front of the house, the back, the sides. I mean, we're excited. I hope you guys are excited as well. That's all I got. You got anything else?
That's it. Let's just go ahead and get gardening.
Yep. So remember, guys, you want to help us grow and make this a full-time thing. Like, share, subscribe to these videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.